Hi friends, welcome to this video. I'm going to discuss a topic that some of you are struggling with right now, and that's the issue of a denial. What should you do if you are facing a denial of an immigration benefit? Denials feel awful. No one wants to be rejected or denied of a benefit that they're seeking, or whether it's a visa. Actually, if you're overseas and you're seeking a visa to come to the US and you were denied, or you're here and you're trying to adjust your status and you've been denied, it doesn't feel good. And quite frankly, friends, under this administration that we're living under, the consequences of a denial can be pretty severe. I've started this series on what you should do if you are denied an immigration benefit. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned. Friends, thanks again for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for giving me thumbs up and doing all the wonderful things that you've been doing to help this channel grow. Keep it up. Keep doing what you do, and I will keep doing what I do. Let's talk about denials. Under the Trump administration, I must say that people are walking through my doors and they are saying to me on a fairly regular basis, you know, they've applied for this benefit. They thought it was a slam dunk. They don't understand what happened. They've been denied. Now they're confused. They don't know what to do. They've paid filing fees. They've paid attorney fees or whatever other fees that they've paid, and it just didn't work out, and they're confused. And so obviously denials has been around in the world of immigration since day one. Of course. But now what we're finding is that with the level of scrutiny that the administration or the Department of Homeland Security is conducting when they're reviewing petitions and applications and such, that level of scrutiny is leading to folks being denied. Let me just say this. I do not have the data on denials that have occurred in the past year compared with 5 years ago. I don't have that data. But what I can tell you, based on what I'm seeing in my practice, is that people are coming in and they are just confused because they've been denied and they didn't think that they should have been denied. And then we also know that the administration has just generally gotten tougher with respect to how it's approaching immigration. So we need to be wise. We need to be smarter about how we approach petitions and applications, and as we prepare packets for submission to the government. So in this video, I want you to walk away with a number of things, and I'm going to just go right to it right now. When you get a denial, you have to think about what was the reason for the denial. What is the basis of the denial? And typically the letter will tell you that, right? It'll tell you the reason why you were denied. But after you understand the reason why, fully understand the reason why you're denied, you now know what your next steps could potentially be. Is this something that you can appeal? Because some denials are non-appealable. You cannot appeal it. Is this something or a benefit that you should refile, right? Should you just basically refile? For some people, that's a very, very good option. For others, they may need to consider a different strategy that they'll speak with a lawyer about. But you've got to understand the reason for the denial. Number two, you also have to understand what those consequences of the denial are. For example, if you've been denied adjustment of status, if your I-485 was denied, the letter from the government will tell you that you need to send back your employment authorization card or document, your EAD, your work permit. You've got to turn that in. Within X number of days, you've got to give them back their card. It'll also tell you whether you're facing removal now. If your marriage petition, your spousal petition was denied, you're here in the US, your marriage petition was denied, green card petition was denied, and the government suspects that you entered into that marriage to get around immigration laws, they will look to issue you a notice to appear in immigration court and begin the process to remove you. Or let's say you have a 2-year green card that you receive based on your marriage to a U.S. citizen, and you applied for the 10-year green card to remove those conditions, and the government denied you of that I-751 petition. And so they will put you in court. They will begin those proceedings against you. So you've got to understand what the consequences are. If you're overseas and you've applied for a visa to come to the United States, depending on the type of visa that you've applied for. For some people, based on the fact that they've committed a crime back in their country or some other serious consequence, those people may never get through. And that is a fact. If you have very significant controlled substances conviction on your record and you're overseas and you've applied to come to the United States on a visa, a visitor's visa of some sort, and you're denied, just know that chances of you ever coming here are very slim. It most likely will never happen. So you've got to understand what the consequence of a denial is and what your next step should be, whether you can refile, you should appeal, or you should pursue some other strategy. Thirdly, you need to understand any deadlines that are in that letter, right? After you've gotten that denial. For some people, they may have a window of opportunity to file a motion to reconsider so that the government may reconsider the decision that it issued to you when it denied you. You may have a certain period of time by which to appeal a decision. And I'm speaking very generally here because I'm going to break it down in future videos. But generally speaking, the letter will tell you what the timeline is or the deadline that you'll have in order to either appeal or submit a motion to reconsider, or even a motion to reopen your case. The letter will tell you that, or a plain blank, it will say there's nothing else. There are no waivers that will allow you to gain entry into the United States. There's just nothing out there, no other options for you based on the circumstance of your inadmissibility. Again, inadmissibility, like within the context of you having a controlled substance conviction on your record and you're overseas trying to get into the United States. And lastly, you need to also understand what your options are, whether you can overcome that denial or not. You may or may not be able to overcome that denial, meaning that if you have a family petition and it was denied and the petitioner has pulled out on you, meaning that she's not going to help you again because the relationship is over. You've cheated. I cannot tell you how often I see that men, do not cheat on your women. It's not a good thing. But the relationship is over, and now you've lost a petitioner, or a petitioner is now deceased, and you've lost that family relationship. And so you basically don't have any other options available to you. So it's very fact specific, but you've got to understand where you stand and what your options are in terms of refiling, if you are able to refile. So those are just some of the takeaways that I want you to receive from this video, that with respect to denials, they can lead to very serious consequences. In other cases, you may simply refile, and we'll talk about when it makes sense to refile versus when you have no other option, basically. We'll talk about potentially when it makes sense for you to file a motion to reconsider or reopen your case. And if you have questions about this series or this topic, something very specific, I want you to just comment below with that question about this issue of denials and how to approach your strategy after you've been denied. I'll look at your questions and I may address the top 3 questions that I've received in future videos on this topic. Friends, thanks for watching this. Thanks for being part of this community. You're getting smarter and smarter and smarter about immigration, and that is a very, very good thing. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye-bye.